efficiency. Finals is on the line. We are underway in Las Vegas. Indiana has not been to the finals since 2015. Lob it in, Boston. So effective in game 4. Trying to work Wilson. On the follow, able to score.
Indiana needs an aggressive Aaliyah Boston going to the basket. That's what we saw. Getting the look.
Stephanie White telling us that the coaching staff reiterated that to Aaliyah Boston today. Young kicks it out. Smith, no. And Boston tips the rebound to Sims. I thought Young had a layup.
Yeah, Jackie Young was wide open there.
Stephanie White also saying they want Odyssey Sims going downhill towards the rim. Here she finds Howard, no call. Howard surrounded. Howard unable to finish. The follow is good. And persistence on the offensive glass from Indiana's bigs first couple of possessions.
We've seen that at times in this series, just their relentless nature on the offensive glass.
Wilson can't fillet it in, battling for the board, and it's Boston who wins it for the Fever. A 4-0 start for Indiana. Sims has her pocket picked by Gray. Gray eyes up, has it deflected out of bounds. Going to stay here. Ooh, they're going to say that's Indiana basketball. It'll be Fever basketball. And Sims throws it away again as Stephanie White says, let's go. Wilson able to dance her way to the cup. But Sims turned it over frequently in games 2 and 3. Indiana losses, already has 2 in the first quarter tonight. Howard kicks it out, Hull's 3, around and off. Howard trying to tip it, able to scrape it away. Another extra possession for Indiana. Mitchell, that space didn't take. Boston lays it in.
Great patience by Aaliyah Boston just to turn and shoot over Smith, who doesn't have the same length defending her as A'ja Wilson.
Already 4 offensive rebounds and 6 second chance points for Indiana as Young buries the mid-range.
And that is what Vegas is going to continue to need from Jackie Young. Just her efficiency, especially in that mid-range game.
Sims pull up, no. That's something Stephanie White talked to us about. As Sims nearly came up with a steal. Looked like Gray had stepped out of bounds. No call. And then the shot clock.
8-second backcourt violation.
Yes, indicates an 8-second violation.
Both of these coaches talked to us about the importance of taking care of the basketball, not turning it over. We have seen some sloppiness here.
Frenetic kind of energy, yeah, game 5.
Game 5 energy, that's right.
That foul's on Jackie Young.
5 post player can do this. Handle in the full court, tough finish inside. With a couple defenders surrounding her, and then Aaliyah Boston just using her strength and skill to muscle that one in.
Boston, wow. I mean, that was nowhere near on target from Hull.
But she got really good position, and that's what Becca Hammond wants her team not to give up, is low post position. They got lucky there that the pass wasn't on the money.
Yeah, she told us, look, we can't defend it if Boston's going to get the catches where she did in game 4.
In fairness, nobody really can.
Yeah. Here's Young. Young off one leg, banks it in. Tied at 6. Here's Mitchell zipping up the floor. Mitchell gets fouled by Wilson, who knew it and says, yes, I did. And she's able to make the right reads, more frequency in those situations.
That last possession, that was the right read.
Yes.
Calling her own number in this series because of the size she has in most matchups is going to be the right read.
18 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. In that game 4, she and Chelsea Gray became just the 4th duo in playoff history to each have at least 9 assists. They were the first to do so in a playoff loss. Mitchell hits both free throws. Sims works over the screen. Lloyd in off the bench, nearly lost it. Here's Gray. Gray has it knocked away by Mitchell. 5 to shoot. Gray dishes. Smith is fouled and finishes. A chance for 3 for Alyssa Smith.
Has the size advantage there where she can not only shoot but still has vision, and as soon as Howard comes over, Smith right there, Howard's hand hits her right on the wrist.
We asked Becky Hammond, what do you need from Chelsea Gray in this game 5? And she said, I need her to get us organized. And then said again, we need organization. She has to do that. We also need leadership from her.
Oh.
That is going to be a foul on Jewel Lloyd, and they're going to take a look at that.
Yeah, that might be upgraded. See, Jewel, as she was fighting over, I think felt that she got hit, but then she just went right in. You'll
penalty ones in this league. There's a tension of the arms up into Hull that just feels like it's unnecessary. Here's Mitchell, didn't take the 3.
All eyes on Mitchell. We've seen this all series, and as also you're seeing a defensive 3 sec. Is it a defensive 3 seconds?
It is.
Oh, no. Offensive 3 seconds.
Wow.
But watch Vegas Aces when they're defending Kelsey Mitchell. She draws so much attention. Even just look at the faces of the Aces defenders and how they're all looking at Kelsey Mitchell because she's so dangerous offensively.
Now, Stephanie White said she was going to talk to her team about perhaps not getting as friendly a whistle in this game after all the noise that was made about the free throw advantage Indiana received in game 4. Just kind of the natural ebbs and flows of the series when that happens. Young elevates, can't hit the 3. Boston the rebound. Said no matter what, we have to play through. Mitchell gives it up. Boston goes cross court. Sims fakes the 3, drives it, pulled up way too short. 6 on the shot clock for Indiana.
Kelsey Mitchell required to do a lot on the offensive end, but here she's also on Jackie Young, trying to D. Look at her hands. Her hands are up in her face, doing everything she can.
Hull loses it on the inbound. 5th turnover for Indiana. Lloyd a 3. Off the mark, rebound deflected off of Boston into the arms of Sims. Here is Sims lobbing it to a running Howard. Waits, has it stripped, out of bounds, stays here. Great job by Las Vegas getting back defensively.
That was one of the big for Becky Hammond, trying to meet up the court defensively, but also getting back in transition.
Hull will fire, short on a 3. Hull very efficient from 3 in games 2 and 3. It was just 1 of 7 in game 4. Wilson back ironing off, and Hull snares the rebound. Midway through the first quarter of this winner-take-all game 5, a 9-8 lead for the Aces. Mitchell guarded by Lloyd. Boston wants it, no space there. Mitchell off the handoff, can't hit the mid-range. Mitchell pursues the board. Another chance for Indiana. That's been a theme in the early going. Mitchell a 3 is good. More second chance points for the Fever. 9 of their 11.
Not only that, but if your hands are down, it's easier to get tangled up or clamped, something we're seeing in the post. So Becky Hammond choosing not to talk, choosing to adjust and get her players to do the same.
And Holly, I thought it was so interesting talking with Becky about the fouls in game 4 and the free throw disparity. And she said, hey, I told my team, we were fouling them. I had no problem with that. She said, what I had some issues with was I thought we were getting fouled too and should have been going to the line.
Yeah, it was really interesting watching them do that drill this morning with the towel, and it started out on the perimeter all the way into the post.
Wilson, the soft touch for the 4-time MVP.
And she is so good when she has some space to operate.
11-11, 4 minutes to go in the first quarter of a winner-take-all game 5. Hull was looking for Boston, now needs help. The rookie Timpson is there.
Terrific post defense by Asia Wilson on Boston that time.
Shea Petty able to scoop it in. Shea Petty has been a bright spot off the bench in this series for Indiana.
Yeah, she had some really good second half moments in game 4 attacking the basket.
Here's Wilson. Wilson looking to take it to Boston. Wilson elevates, can't finish. Boston the rebound, already her 5th. Mitchell. Boston trying to take it down at Wilson. Double comes. Boston trying to finish it anyway, could not. Smith, a strong rebound for Las Vegas. to keep Indiana off the offensive glass. Wilson, beautiful pocket pass from Young, and Wilson unable to hit. Winner of this game goes to the finals to meet the Phoenix Mercury. What a postseason it has been for Phoenix. Boston on the roll, denied by Smith, her former teammate.
Leah Boston just drawing so much defensive attention. As soon as she gets the ball, Melissa Smith is coming over, walling up. She's got Chelsea Gray behind her. Leah Boston has been so aggressive over the course of the last game and then here.
Dana Evans in off the bench for Las Vegas. Backdoor, Petty will lay it in on a beautiful delivery from Boston. And Shea Petty already with 2 buckets off the bench.
Dana Evans in the game, Indiana Fever going to their zone defense.
And Wilson lays it in off a nice delivery from Evans.
Petty got stuck on Wilson in the post, and Vegas did a good job recognizing the mismatch.
Asia Wilson told us Dana Evans is our fire, our battery. Mitchell got stripped, wanted a whistle, didn't get one. Here comes Young, pull up 3, is good! Vegas back in front by 1. They've scored 5 straight. Mitchell to the cup, can't finish it, but a foul on Smith, and Mitchell will shoot 2.
We've talked this game already and all series long of all the things that Jackie Young can do. Well, how about reaching her hand in, getting the steal, coming down, just stepping in with confidence, draining the 3 to give Vegas the lead.
Jackie Young already 7 points, and Las Vegas is going to challenge this foul call. So an early challenge from Becky Hammond and her staff. Challenge for the remainder of this game. Taking a look at the upcoming WNBA Finals schedule. Friday on ESPN. Game 1, 8 Eastern. WNBA Finals presented by YouTube TV. Sunday on ABC, it'll be Game 2 for the WNBA Finals presented by YouTube TV at 3 Eastern. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com and visit the WNBA app.
And to button that up, Becky Hammond was at midcourt, and she had players and assistant coaches running to her, telling her, challenge that, challenge that.
And that's a system where she knows she can get the officials' attention. Gustafson connects. She has had some huge first half threes in these semifinals.
How about that? Against the Indiana Fever zone, the big just steps in, draining the 3.
Brianna Turner in off the bench for Indiana. Gustafson in for Las Vegas. Boston drops it out of bounds. That's another Indiana turnover. Their 7th of
Indiana in game 4, getting Aaliyah Boston touch after touch.
Gustafson gives it up. Wilson will take it, hit.
And one of the reasons the Indiana Fever go into this zone when Dana Evans is on the floor, she's so quick, and they've had so much difficulty keeping her in front of them in the man-to-man.
A 10-1 Las Vegas run. They have their largest lead of the quarter. Boston finds Turner. Turner didn't want to shoot it. Petty will, and knock it down. A deep 3 for Shea Petty, who has come to play. 7 points in 4 minutes off the bench. Young rounds it off. Hull, and that's going to be a loose ball foul against an 8-second difference game in shot clock. Hull hits the free throw. Group at ESPN.
Do we have these great stats in the NBA? Are there any coaches who have a great win streak when they wear red leather, Ryan Rucco?
I haven't seen an NBA coach in red leather in a while.
In a while.
Gustafson lays it in. I think my guy Fratello was the last one to rock red leather.
Really nice cut that time by Megan Gustafson.
23-21. Vegas in front. Gustafson is very consistently giving quality first half minutes in this series. Hull gives it up. Turner flips it up and in to tie it at 23. Evans. And that will do it for the first half as Lexi Hall lays it in.
Both teams resting their superstars probably for a short amount of time. Both Boston and Wilson out of the game. We've seen that throughout this series. When one comes out, the other gets her rest as well.
Evans connects on a three. Dana Evans, a massive X factor in this series, averaging over 9 points on 56% shooting.
In this game tonight, she said, Dana, she's our fire, she's our battery, she's moving great, and she will drive us, and that's been true so far.
Thank you, Hal. Sims, pull-up jumper, she got it.
X factor on one side, Dana Evans, X factor certainly on the other. Odyssey Sims, when she plays well, it's a very different offensive team for the Fever.
Indiana 7-1 when Sims scores 15 or more points. Evans rims out. Last touch Smith, Indiana basketball.
It still amazes me that when Indiana goes to their man-to-man with this lineup, that it's Brianna Turner who has the defensive assignment against Evans and has done very well keeping her in front of her when that has been the matchup.
A player who is out of the rotation for most of the year. Stephanie White talked about how just Turner was the consummate pro through that time and then ready to play as Mitchell was looking for a whistle and lost the basketball. Young being harassed by Turner, gets it back. Screen coming from Smith. Young gets space and drops it in.
I don't think Natasha Howard knew the defensive coverage that she was supposed to be in there.
Sims goes up strong and falls down hard on the foul. Missed free throws have been a theme for Indiana over the last couple of games.
See Sims shaken up a little bit, but she has to take the free throws if she wants to be able to play the rest of this game.
Odyssey Sims hits the second. Sims, who went 44 days between WNBA games this season before being picked up by the Fever. An injury exemption signing. Evans throws it out of bounds. Just the third turnover for Las Vegas. And now Boston will check back in, as will Wilson on the next stoppage for both of those post stars. That's a foul on Evans. It'll stay here. And that is the first.
Steph White told Aaliyah Boston to go check in. Becky Hammond saw it. All right, Asia, you're going in as well.
We were talking to Asia Wilson about the relationship between the two former South Carolina stars, and she said, you know, it's not like we're texting every day because we didn't go to school together, but we do have that connection because we know what it was like to go through that program, to win championships for it, to be coached by Dawn, always kind of keep in touch. She said, but usually on the floor in this series, she said, it's Aaliyah who does most of the talking, but if you talk to me, then I'm going to talk back. Sims, another bucket as Howard comes up with a steal and then is fouled by Nalissa Smith, who immediately says, yes, my bad, I got her.
Howard really good defensively on that time, just using her feet and her length to get around Nalissa Smith. Smith's trying to post. Defensively, you don't want the offensive player to keep contact. Just really good job by Howard to get around and get that steal.
That is already the fourth team foul on Las Vegas in this second quarter. So Indiana now in the bonus with 7:20 to go in the second. Can they take advantage? Petty, Boston, Hull, Howard, and Sims, the five for Indiana. Hull takes the mid-range, missed it badly. Out of bounds to Las Vegas with Young, Gray, Evans, Smith, and Wilson on the floor for the Aces. Here's Young, swiftly up the floor. Young leans in. This is the jumper. Wilson in a crowd. Gets it out to Evans. Young will attack. Dip in. Difficult pass, and Wilson gets fouled. And we'll shoot two from our outstanding truck. As Wilson hits the first. A'ja Wilson did something no player ever had in playoff history in Game 4, putting up 31 points, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. In fact, she's the only player to ever do that in the regular season as well, something she's done twice. Tied at 30, second quarter of Game 5. Howard will take the 3. Can't knock it down. Not her strength, but every once in a while hits one. Just 6 threes on the season made from Howard. Howard and Smith really battling in the post. Wilson and Boston up top. Gray looking to shed Petty. Gray able to bank it in. Just a veteran finish from Chelsea Gray. Sims is fouled by Young. Indiana in the bonus. Free throws coming. He believes A'ja Wilson is going to go down as the greatest player in the history of this league. She certainly is on that trajectory when you look at the hardware she's already acquired.
Say what, the last 4 years, if any of those seasons and it ends, you say, how could A'ja Wilson possibly get better? And then she does.
Yes. Sims with the last 7 points for Indiana. That's the aggression Stephanie White wants from her. Tied at 32. Great pass inside. Wilson gets fouled by Boston. And A'ja Wilson is going to shoot 2. First foul on Aaliyah Boston.
The Aces worked on this action this morning quite a bit. We've seen them run it a lot on the right side of the floor, now on the left, where A'ja Wilson sets the on-ball screen, and then she gets the back screen herself. That's tough for the post defender to handle.
The 2025 WNBA playoffs presented by Google are here. See where your team stands on the WNBA app. Scan the QR code now to track the action with real-time stats, highlights, behind-the-scenes moments, and more. Wilson misses the second. Aerial Powers getting a little run here in Game 5. Limited minutes for her in Game 4. Played just 2 minutes in that Fever win. Boston. Here's Sims on a 3. Missed it. Boston the offensive rebound. Kicks it out to Powers. And Boston is fouled by Smith. Aaliyah Boston is going to shoot 2 with Indiana in the bonus.
Really good job. Aaliyah Boston gets the ball, passes it out, reposts. As she tries to repost, Alyssa
Gustafson in for Las Vegas. Indiana now 8 of 11 from the line.
We saw Melissa Smith getting foul trouble in Game 4 as well.
Kelsey Mitchell yet to score in the second quarter. Boston has 5 points, 7 rebounds. Mitchell with 6. Odyssey Sims and Shea Petty 7 apiece. A'ja Wilson leads all scorers with 11. Jackie Young has 9. Wilson in space. Got hit again. And A'ja Wilson is going right back to the line. That's 3 straight trips for A'ja Wilson, who drew by far the most fouls in the league this season.
See, Aerial Powers kind of gets her head turned as she is defending, and then as she tries to recover.
It's her elbow. Reminds me of the Gary Kloppenberg,
yes,
who was on the coaching staff of the Seattle Storm in 2020 in the Wubble, and the Storm beat the Aces in the finals. And he actually told his players, you can't go straight up against A'ja Wilson. You actually have to have your arms back.
Yes,
because of the way Asia's elbow is on her jumper.
Yeah, her elbow is just more forward than most players, and so she draws a lot of contact with it.
Mitchell jitters, takes, doesn't get the roll. Wilson the rebound, her 4th to go with 12 points. Oh, Howard and Mitchell collide. Vegas has numbers. A poor pass to Lloyd. Indiana still scrambling, though, as Wilson lays it in. A'ja Wilson up to 14. Mitchell gets grabbed by Gray, wrestled out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Indiana.
Right around the rim.
Mitchell an open look. She got it from three. And then Kelsey Mitchell had something to say afterwards, feeling like she had gotten fouled on the previous drive. First points of the quarter for Mitchell, who finished top 5 in the MVP voting. Gray, splash, 2 for 2 from the floor. Sims gets going downhill and gets the whistle as Odyssey Sims will go to the line.
Kelsey Mitchell moves so well without the basketball in her hands, uses screens well. That chime just curls off, catches, and fires. We see that often on side out of bounds plays as well. Stephanie White does a really good job drawing up.
In this second quarter, she has all of her points in the frame, and that's 8 of them now. Talked about Indiana's record when she scores 15 or more. They're 7-1 this season. And one of Stephanie White's keys has been, where are we going to find offense? Outside of Kelsey Mitchell. Because even Aaliyah Boston hadn't consistently been aggressive offensively. Odyssey Sims is a huge key for Indiana because she's at least capable of this.
And capable of creating by getting paint touches and then finding open players. 9 of her 18 points in Game 4 came in the fourth quarter.
Tied at 38. Neither team is led by more than 5. Young finds the cutter, Gustafson. Gustafson kicks it out, Young connects! Jackie Young is dialed in. She has 12 in the first half. Boston the catch and the finish. Beautiful delivery from Howard. Here's Young, quickly back up the floor. Wilson wants it. Wilson can't rim it in. Lloyd tracked it beautifully. Another chance for Vegas. Young can't hit the 3, wanted a foul. Felt like she was hit on the arm. To the naked eye, I think she had a case. Here's Sims pedaling forward and travel. Let's take a look at that again, Rebecca, on the non-call on the Young attempt.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, obviously a foul. .41-40, Vegas in front, under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Wilson. Wilson nudges, takes, can't hit. Good D there from Aaliyah Boston, who has been one of the best in the league this season when it comes to defending Asia Wilson. Lob it in, Howard the reverse lay on a beautiful decision from Odyssey Sims. Indiana back in front by 1 in Game 5. Sims and Wilson barrel into each other as Boston comes up with a rebound.
A lot of contact on that last possession.
Sims needs some help, finds it in Hull. Lob it in, Boston, center of the lane. Lost it, good D there from Gustafson. Young finds Lloyd, her 3. You bet! Stephanie White told us Jewel Lloyd still scares the daylight out of me as Mitchell able to pizza pie it home. When Vegas had its 16-game winning streak, Lloyd was a huge part of it. Shot at 42% from 3 during that stretch while averaging 11 points per game. She has been remarkably quiet in these semis, but a big bucket here.
Vegas has done a really nice job being fast with the basketball, sharing it. Jewel Lloyd steps into it. Kelsey Mitchell, talk about foul.
Indiana should have been shooting those free throws. I just thought we were also getting fouled and it wasn't being called. As Indiana called for a foul before this ball is inbounded, that's an away from the play foul and going to give a free throw for Las Vegas. As Gray makes the free throw, so that kind of negates what just happened on the tee. Tied at 45 with 1:33 to go in this first half of Game 5.
Can I just say I was a teammate of Becky Hammond's for a few years in New York, and I'm glad she never looked at me like that.
Wilson Dips inside, can't finish it. Boston comes up with a rebound. Indiana with numbers the other way. Sims with Gustafson switched on her. Into the corner, Hull missed it badly. Boston another board. Boston gets called for the offensive foul as Gustafson goes down, and that is going to be number 3 on Aaliyah Boston. Here's Gray, pull-up jumper is good. Chelsea Gray has been very selective with her attempts, but now 3 for 3. A big final minute of this first half in a winner-go-home game 5. Hull surrounded, finds Howard, misses the layup. Boston the rebound. Hull a 3, rims off. Gray the board, gets it ahead to Young. Lexi Hull very cold from 3 in this game. Lloyd doesn't get the roll as Gustafson slaps it out of bounds. For great looks. So we check in with Holly.
Well, Becky Hammond told us today at Shoot Around, Asia is always Asia. A is going to be A, but the way we go is the way our guards go. To see Chelsea Gray heating up, Jackie Young doing a great job. Her guards are leading the way right now, just like she thought they would.
Yeah, 19 combined between Young and Gray, Hal, and very efficient from both of them. Got an 8-second difference game in shot clock. Mitchell gives it up. 3 to shoot. Mitchell going to have to make something happen. Howard, they didn't have time for that. As Indiana, here's Young, lobbing it in. Wilson can't finish it. Howard, they have time. Howard gets it off. And that will do it for the first hit in Gray. Back to Young, 7 to shoot. Smith is in foul trouble in the first half, able to finish there. She's done such a nice job working the dunker spot in this series.
She really has, and using her strength and physicality to finish over smaller defenders.
Howard turns the corner, whips a pass. Hull gives it up. Sims connects on a 3. Odyssey Sims now with 12 points in game 5. That is a foul on Odyssey Sims, and oh no. Chelsea Gray goes down grabbing at her right foot. Gray, as she hobbles back to the locker room. We'll get an update as soon as we have one, and that is an early 4th foul.
Right when she gets any kind of space, can get her first step, put defense in a compromising position.
Evans leans in, can't finish. Boston another rebound, her 12th. Vegas by 1. Sims shovels a pass. Howard, loose handle. Wilson takes it away. Young looking to work Hull. Banks it in. Busts the foul. A chance for 3 from the floor. Remember, this is an Aces team that in postseasons past has been used to getting massive production from Kelsey Plum. More has been on the shoulders of Jackie Young, and she has delivered thus far. Here's Sims. Pull-up jumper? No. Boston, the putback won't go. Tipped alive, another chance for Indiana. And I think there's an issue with the clock. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell surrounded by 2. Howard looking to take Smith, 2 to shoot. Howard lays it in just as the shot clock expires.
I would expect Vegas to attack Aaliyah Boston on this end of the floor, try to pick up a 5th on her.
How about Indiana, a plus 15 on the glass in this game. They have 17 second chance points. Las Vegas with just 2. Wilson off one leg, feathery.
And you saw Aaliyah Boston kind of had to give her a cushion. She has to be careful not to pick up number 5.
After Boston has held Wilson to 30% shooting when contesting her in this series. Mitchell gets hugged, grabbed, and finally the foul is called.
Give Asia Wilson the ball in space, and you see just a quick step back and, you know, that kind of a half contest from Boston. All she can do, she cannot afford to pick up another foul.
Wilson with 18 to lead all scorers. Here's Boston. Sims comes to get it. Aces lead by 4. Third quarter action of game 5. Mitchell, 3 to shoot. Wilson comes up with a steal. Young in transition. Lays it in. Plus the foul. The strength of Jackie Young and the large. All right, Holly Rowe having some technical difficulties there. As Turner gets it out to Hull. Open 3. Can't hit the 3, out of bounds, and it's Las Vegas ball. Gray is back out on the bench for Las Vegas. That's what Holly was attempting to give us an update on, so we'll hear from Holly as soon as we get her audio issues figured out. Vegas has outscored Indiana 8-2, though, since her injury, as Turner comes up with a big steal there.
Indiana back in a zone, that twofold.
Mitchell connects on a 3. And Kelsey Mitchell a little more aggressive, a little more space that time.
And the more they score, they can continue to go back in the zone. That's one way to protect a post player in foul trouble. Also, Dana Evans on the floor. We've already discussed how the zone impacts that.
Wilson lobbing it in. Smith working Boston, who has 4. Smith can't hit. Hull storms in for the rebound. Win or go home here in game 5. A trip to the finals on the line. A meeting with Phoenix Friday night, 8 Eastern on ESPN. Here's Mitchell. Wilson rings in the jumper. And now for the Aces with Gray back on the floor after her foot injury. Can you put the Fever away here in the third with Mitchell back in the locker room?
And with Boston on the bench after picking up that 5th foul.
Smith knocks it away. Turner keeps it alive. Wilson the steal. Here comes Young. Gray a 3. Rims off. Howard the rebound. And I know, Rebecca, you felt like, we'll take another look at some play, but that 5th foul on Boston was tough given how infrequently they've called that in this series.
Yes.
Poor decision there from Howard. Looked like she had a layup. Instead, turns it over. Indiana with 15 turnovers. Young, you bet! Vegas lead is back to 9. 7th 20-point game in Jackie Young's playoff career. 27th for Asia Wilson. Petty gets denied by Wilson, the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Let's go back to what has been called already in the previous 4 games.
And I think I'm sure Indiana was frustrated with the 3rd foul on Boston, where it looked like you certainly could have perceived a flop from Megan Gustafson. Wilson fading away, in and out. Hull able to snare the rebound. Vegas in the bonus. More than 3 minutes to go in this third. 7-point game. Howard, baseline jumper, rims off. Turner bats it to Lloyd. Las Vegas controls in this win or go home game 5. Lloyd, pull-up jumper, off. Petty, the flick ahead, and Howard lays it in. Nice little response here from Indiana to cut it back down to 5. With no Boston, no Mitchell on the floor. No Clark, no Cunningham in uniform. Young, that one back ironing off. It springs Petty. Petty will peel back out, finds Howard. Howard has it ripped away by Nalissa Smith. Wilson taking Turner, lost the handle. Young drifts out. Wilson will take and hit. Asia Wilson can do it all. Did not take many attempts this season, but was incredibly accurate from 3 at 42%. Howard flips it in plus the foul. And Natasha Howard now with 10 points, 7 rebounds. Has won a trio of titles in her career. A featured part of 2 of them in Seattle. Makes it a 5-point game. Gray in the corner. No. An opportunity for Indiana to get a little closer with Mitchell still in the locker room. Boston still on the bench with her 5th foul. Sims will go to the line to shoot 2. Unfathomable to think they could get to this position without a healthy Caitlin Clark, without a healthy Sophie Cunningham and others. And the jobs
to describe themselves as resilient. They continue to run into injuries and other obstacles.
Sims, 4-point Vegas lead. Aces have shot at 50% from the floor in game 5. Wilson has it knocked away, and Turner's going to get called for the free throws of the game. For an update on Kelsey Mitchell, here is Holly Rowe.
Just got the word from Indiana PR. Kelsey Mitchell is still being assessed in this game.
Obviously not the news that you'd want if you're a Fever fan or if you're a basketball fan, who has fallen in love with the incredible speed, the competitive nature, and the relentless play of Kelsey Mitchell here in 2025. That's a trout. And the 18th Indiana. A'ja Wilson, 11 points in the 3rd quarter. Young gives it up. Gray. Short. Look at Hull come flying in. Wilson. Fading and hitting. A'ja Wilson with 13 in the quarter, trying to take her team to the finals. 27 already for the 4-time MVP. Indiana can hold for a final shot here. Hull drops it. 2 seconds left. Petty off one leg. No. And that will do it for the 3rd.
Being aggressive on the offensive end of the floor, certainly acting like a player who's been in this moment before.
Aaliyah Boston back in for Indiana with her 5 fouls. Mitchell out for the remainder of the game as she continues to be evaluated. Boston can't finish there. Vegas an 8-point lead. Winner will face Phoenix. Game 1 of the finals. Friday night, 8 Eastern on ESPN. Here's Young. Smith bodies in. Knocked out of bounds, and it'll stay with Las Vegas. Sophie Cunningham and Breon January up, very frustrated that a charge was not called on Las. Gray denied by Hull, always battling till the end. Here's Sims. Pull-up jumper is good. Boy, Odyssey Sims may have been cut midway through this season. I can tell you this, she's going to have a job somewhere next year.
Yeah, she's got a job for these last 9 minutes, too, because she is their best option in terms of shot creation right now on the floor.
15 for Sims. Indiana is 7-1 when she scores 15. Well, Indiana has fought for Kelsey Mitchell. It's a 5-point game here in the 4th. Wilson drops it in. 29 points for A'ja Wilson.
But also the number of times this season Indiana Fever have seen one of their teammates leave the floor, know they're not coming back, and have to recover quickly from it.
Petty gets denied by Wilson and then fouled by Petty.
Player.
She's on pace to be just the 2nd player ever to average 5 stocks per game in a single postseason. As she lays that one in, A'ja Wilson with 31 in game 5. Stocks are, of course, blocks plus steals. Lisa Leslie in the 01 playoffs, the only player to ever average at least 5 per game throughout the course of an entire postseason. Wilson well on her way to that as Hull answers.
And with Aaliyah Boston in foul trouble, she is now defending Alyssa Smith. Howard has the primary assignment on Wilson since she's come back in the game.
Asia Wilson's 8th career 30-point playoff game, tying Brianna Stewart and Diana Taurasi for most all-time. Young, not that time. Offensive rebound, another chance for Las Vegas. And that's an offensive foul on Alyssa Smith, and that will be the 4th on Smith.
Fouls.
Sims, open right side, misses the layup. That's a foul on Howard as she went over the top of Smith. And that will be, her eye was when she fell into the leg of, I believe it was Sims. Indiana plus 17 on the glass, but it's Vegas a plus 7 on the scoreboard. Wilson misses that one. Sims the rebound. Still plenty of time remaining in this game. So the Fever have a push with Mitchell done for the night after suffering an apparent injury. Lob it in. Howard battling and finishing.
That was a really tough catch by Natasha Howard. Yes, she had the size advantage on Young, but then it was a sandwich when Jewel Lloyd came over defensively on the catch.
Young banks it in on the drive. 23 for Jackie Young, who's done a little bit of everything for Las Vegas. Hull didn't take the 3. Sims looking to attack. Sims can't finish, gets the whistle. Odyssey Sims has done a nice job. Taking a look at the upcoming WNBA final schedule. Friday 1 will be back here in Vegas if Las Vegas holds on to this win. Remember, this is an Aces team that was 500 for most of the season, then went on a 16-game winning streak to end the regular season, to launch themselves into the 2 seed in these playoffs. Powers the deflection and the knockaway. Here comes Ariel Powers. Can she maintain control? She does, all the way in, and it is a 1-possession game. The Indiana Fever just do not ever say die. Hull nearly came up with a steal. Young a 3 is good. Jackie Young is doing it all in game 5. 26 for the All-Star guard. Boston, sure. 4-point Aces lead. Young and Wilson, the top scoring duo in the regular season and playoffs, have a combined 57 tonight. Both well over 50% from the floor. Young, not that time. Rebound Turner, a chance for the Fever to creep closer. Sims, the push shot, banks in! It's a 2-point game with 3:38 to go. Odyssey Sims has 19. Wilson, mid-range, won't go. Turner the board. Indiana can tie or go in front. Almost unfathomable after the injury to Mitchell. Sims jumper off the mark. Boston there. Boston misses the layup. Another chance. Sims fakes the 3. Powers drives it and throws it away. A poor decision by Ariel Powers. 19th Indiana turnover. Wilson gets a clean look and knocks it down. Big bucket there for A'ja Wilson. And it's back to 4. .33 for the MVP. Sims into the lane. Whips it in, plus the foul. But they'll call it offensive on Sims. Fourth quarter of game 5. A trip to the finals on the line. Here is Young. Young finds space, pivots, kicks. Wilson out to Lloyd, 4 to shoot. Lloyd, Young, no, rebound Hull, and a chance for Indiana now with 2 minutes to go. Here's Sims, weaving, Hull dishing. Boston lays it in. It is a 2-point game.
Screening action, big to big, early in that possession. Got the switch so that Gustafson was on Aaliyah. Boston, well executed and patient offense by the Indiana Fever.
Here's Gray. Shot clock's already down to 8. Wilson gets a touch. On the move, fading. No, rebound Lloyd, a big offensive one for Las Vegas. Here is Gray, 8 to shoot. Gray drives it, fades, can't hit. Boston the rebound. Indiana with the ball, down 2. Boston on the move. Boston looking for help. Petty on the drive, probing. 1 minute to go. Here's Hull, shot clock at 5. Sims gonna have to make it happen. Sims leaner, no good, but she's fouled.
And asked to on every possession.
She's 8 of 9 from the line tonight. Hits the first. Join us Friday night, 8 Eastern on ESPN for game 1 of the WNBA Finals. The winner of this game, looking for Wilson. Here is Wilson on the move. Wilson's fouled on the floor by Turner. Indiana had a foul. Here's Young. Calling for a screen. Sims harassing. Young battling. 13 to shoot. Tie game. Turner fronting Wilson. Shot clock down to 6. Young needs help. And a timeout taken by Becky Hammond. Terrific. Vegas has 1 timeout remaining. Gray gets it in. Young separates, looking for space, leaning, can't hit, rebound to Indiana, and a late loose. Young to give the Aces the lead, drills the first, 86% from the line in her career, 89% this season. 27 points tonight for Jackie Young, who hits them both. And now Stephanie White will use her reset with 27 points for Caitlin Clark.
And you would expect the Aces to give all kinds of defensive Sims.
The Fever have one last trick up their sleeve. Hall has to get it in, finds Sims. Sims avoids the contact. Sims lays it in, and this game is tied. Every Friday night, 8 Eastern on ESPN. Young will inbound. Aces out of timeouts. Gray trying to shake free, cannot. Young gets it into Gray. Back to Young. Directing traffic as she gets it back to Gray. Shot clock is turned off. 10 seconds remaining. Gray waiting. Here is Young. 6 seconds left. Young trying to shake Petty. Young leaning. Misses the layup to tip.